SEO is always changing, and in getting ranked and getting your business found is a constant battle. So this is why I always like to keep up with things. So what do I believe is what it really takes to get your Google business listing into that three pack of Google? Let me show you what I believe makes that happen. What's up there, guys? Is here once again, do it yourself junk removal SEO, where I help junk removal business owners, small businesses understand the internet to get their business found online in the area where they're providing those services. And today, what I want to discuss is kind of an update on what I honestly believe it takes for a junk removal business and just any business in general to get into that elusive three pack of Google's map listings. The reason that's so important is that what I'm seeing statistically is most people are now gravitating to a lot of the Google AdWords that show up at the top of the search results. And then immediately the biggest portion of all searches goes into that Google listing, that little three pack, especially since people are scrolling on their phones and constantly doing most searches on their phones these days. So, what does it really take to get into that Google listing? Like I always talk about, I believe that SEO is nothing but theory. Google's basically AI. It's its own version of AI, and all it's doing is trying to give the end user the best results possible. So if I'm looking for a junk removal service, a dumpster rental, a tree service, it doesn't really matter. So if I type in tree service near me, what Google's algorithm, its AI, its intelligence is trying to do is give me the absolute best result possible based on my location, how relevant, important that business is, so that I am happy with the results that I get so I can continue to use Google. So there are a few things that I believe that search engine is really looking for these days to get that listing to show up and be more prevalent in that particular area, whatever the search is. So I want to show you guys an example of one because I don't just do junk removal, I do a bunch of other businesses as well. This is for a tree service company in San Luis Obispo, California. It's about 30 miles away from me. The city's about 60, 70,000 people. Guy wants to get found in the Google listings. So what I believe it takes to get into that, first of all, first and foremost, that business has to be located in that specific town. I can't have a Google listing, for example, in Paso Robles, California, which is 30 miles away from San Luis Obispo, and expect that map listing to rank in that city. It just doesn't work that way. What Google's trying to do is give someone locally relevant to my area. So even if I'm looking for a taco stand, if I took taco stand, good tacos near me, the search engine, Google's map listing, what it's trying to do is give me the closest one to my proximity, as well as some of the better ones out there. So proximity of your Google listing is very, very important. So if you are in a huge city like Portland and your junk removal business is located 20 miles away, 30 miles away from the actual center of that town, the chances of your listing really starting to showcase in that town of Portland grows smaller and smaller. So you have to have that listing in there some way, somehow in that particular area. That's one of the things I think ranks a map listing. Number two, I believe it's the Google reviews, not just the number of them, but the locations of the Google reviews. I really do believe, again, my own personal theory, that is, I'm a junk removal business owner in a particular town, and I'm doing good. I'm getting a lot of Google reviews, and I'm getting reviews. Google knows the IP addresses of where these people are leaving their geographic location or where they're leaving those reviews. So if Google senses, you know, 60, 70 reviews scattered within a perimeter of a particular area, now Google's AI search engine is starting to understand that I provide that particular service in this particular area. Therefore, it's going to basically show that listing even more because it understands that I'm doing a good job and providing a great service. So it's going to prioritize my listing above others because I am doing a good job, getting good reviews, and they're geographically located. I can't be getting fake reviews from freaking 6 states over, 10 states over, anything like that, or multiple reviews from one particular IP address. This has to be organic and natural. Number three, I believe that Google's also looking for reviews in other areas. So if you're getting reviews on, I don't know, Facebook, on Yelp, on like a construction company's getting some reviews on Home Advisor, on Better Business Bureau, that kind of thing, I really do believe I would. it starts to search for reviews in other areas to make sure this business is legit. The next thing I think Google's looking for is business listing citations. It wants to see your business name, it wants to see your business address, it wants to see your business phone number, it wants to see your identity's business in as many places as possible. The more it sees it in all these areas, the more it believes it's a big deal. It's a big business. I mean, it's just a machine, so it can't really go out there and look physically look. So it has to use what's out there on the internet. So if you have a listing in a Better Business Bureau, you have a Facebook page, you have an Instagram page, you have a page on Yelp, you have a listing on Home Advisor, you have a listing in the Chamber of Commerce. I mean, as many listings as possible. It starts to see them all over the place, and it starts to trust and know that your business is real, legit, and all that stuff. So that's another thing that it's looking for to rank a business in that Google listing. Another thing I believe is really looking for is the content on your website. I believe that Google takes a lot of the information that you have on your website and relays and transfers all that information into that Google listing. So the more pages you have about the services you provide, for example, I'm going to use this as an example of tree service in San Luis Obispo. That gentleman I was talking about earlier, he provides a bunch of different services: tree trimming, tree removal, emergency tree service, tree pruning. We're going to add more as time progresses. But all this information on this website, what it's doing, it's reading, Google's reading all this information on his website and relaying it to that listing that we have set up for him in San Luis Obispo. So the more information you have on your website, the well SEO optimized website, basically saying, look, we are a tree service company in San Luis Obispo, California. These are the services we provide. The more you give it on the website, the more it's going to relay into that Google listing. So that's another thing that's very, very important to helping rank that Google listing. Another thing too, it's to me, it's looking for local relevance. Is this business in this local area? So one of the strategies that I'm using now is to start to create content about the local area, kind of like a realtor. A realtor is selling houses in a particular town, but they're not. That's not all they do. They talk about the area. They talk about locations, places to eat, the schools, anything like that, because they know that customers coming in are looking for everything in the perimeter of that business. That's my theory behind this. So what I like to do is start create content about the area that this business is in, and start creating kind of like a blog information about how this business owner understands the local area. So for like example, I create a big long article writing about how awesome it is to live in San Luis Obispo, for example. So and from here, I like to write articles about local points of interest. Like there's a zoo here in that town. There's a famous hotel over there. There's the Mission. There's some another hotel called the Madonna Inn. Start writing articles about those things in that city, as well as embedding maps into that article showing the business travel route to that location, so that Google kind of gets it. We basically hammered home to Google that this business is in this location, so much so that we know actual points of interest in this area. And I do believe that's helps in building that local relevance. You're creating more content on the website, to relaying all this information to that Google listing and helping rank and push this Google listing. So I can show you how we started with this business. This is May 30, 2023, about 2.5 months ago. His Google business listing was not in that three pack. You can see he's number 8, 7, 6. And now I looked this morning and he's starting to show up in the 3s and the 4s now. He's ranking a lot better now. So when I type in tree service San Luis Obispo, here's his business. We got him into that three pack, and it was all of that combined. We also have got his Google reviews, uploaded pictures, that sort of thing. Another thing I think it looks for is you constantly posting on Google Business Profile. I think it's looking for a consistency. I don't think you should be spamming this all the time. So it's just as long as you're doing something like once a week, twice a week, something informative. So when a customer lands on it, actually spends the time to read it, that kind of thing is what I think it helps these listings grow. So like I said, it's a combination of things. I don't think it's just one single thing. I do believe it's a combination of everything. At the end of the day, Google's trying to give the end user the absolute best possible experience. So if you play that game, you get the reviews, you set up the website, you build listing citations, you create content, you do everything you're supposed to do. I really do believe that's what helps push these listings to the top of the search results. All this geotagging pictures and all that crap, to some extent might help, but in the end, it's a combination of things to get a business listed in that Google 3-pack. So that's just the information I want to share with you guys today. If you guys want to know more about our services, some things we provide, feel free to go on the description below and click on those links. And that's all I got for you guys today. Till next time.